Right, so I heard the other day one of my friends was saying that injuries are like skate tax. At some point we all have to pay, and it looks like that now is my time. This video is not about showing you hard slum and horrible falls, but it's about dealing with the two most common types of skateboard injuries and how to initially treat them. And if you, like myself, is injured right now, this video is also about accepting a temporary defeat, to digest everything that happened and to focus on your road to recovery. Hello, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Ronaldo. If you happen to learn anything from this video today, give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe. First of all, there's no progression without going a little over your comfortable zone. It's what gives us the adrenaline boost and the amazing sense of achievement when you learn something for the very first time. On the other hand, injuries also happens when you least expect, doing the very simple things that you used to do all the time. Unfortunately, sometimes it also comes with a price. So let's start with strains and sprains, which are two of the most common type of injuries that we could come across while skating. Remember that this is just initial treatment. Anything more serious, anything that persists, you should definitely get it checked by your doctor. And if you've been skating for a while, so you probably already had one of those. Strains and sprains are very easy to treat, but what are the difference between a strain and a sprain, and how to actually treat them? Well, a strain is an injury to the muscle or a tendon, while a sprain is an injury to the ligament. Right, so I still don't get it. So what's the difference between a tendon and a ligament? Right, okay, so basically a tendon links a muscle to a bone and is responsible for a movement. Think of your flick. On the other hand, a ligament, it's what connects two bones and responsible for stabilization. Think if you're going very, very fast and you need to stop very quickly, what will keep your bones together? It's your ligament. And for both strains and sprain, the treatment is exactly the same. And for that you use RICE. RICE? Yeah, that's right. RICE is an acronym for Rest, Ice, Compression and Elevate. So rest, basically do not continue to put any force on the area. Give it a rest. And ice, apply a very cold compress to reduce swelling. A compress will help you to stabilize the area to keep it together. And of course, elevate, keep it raised, give it a rest. Right, another very important fact in this, remember, do not use heat on the strains and the sprains. Heat, basically, if you apply heat, it will swell even more. The idea is to cool it down. However, if your tendon or your ligament has been torn apart completely, then the story changes quite significantly. You probably have to undergo a reconstructive surgery in order to fully recover. And that can take a long time. Which brings us to the psychological symptoms of a skate injury and the very first question that comes to our mind. When will I be able to skate again? And that's where I am right now. Asking myself the very first question, when will I be able to skate again? Yeah, so I had a bad slam last week and I twisted quite badly the way I landed, and I heard a pop on my knee, and at that point I knew there was something a bit more serious. So I went to the hospital and had an x-ray done, and I knew there was no fracture, which then I went to see an orthopedist, and within a few seconds of him handling my knee, he told me straight away, your ACL is torn apart. And if you ever want to skate again, it's simple, you have to have a surgery to reconstruct your ACL. My world fell apart. I never expected it. I knew there was a problem, but I didn't imagine it to be a that degree. So next week I'll be having an MRI scan, and it's only then I'll know exactly the damage of the rest of the knee. All I know is I won't be able to skate for the next 9 to 12 months, which to me is an eternity. For most of us, skateboarding is a hobby in which we often take it for granted, and not being able to do just that is heartbreaking. I don't want to moan more and feel sorry for myself. I'm going to set a clear plan to recover, and I will stick to it. If you have gone through, or if you are going through right now something like this, if you've got something that can help going through these difficult times, then leave your comments below. I'd be very grateful to hear from you. One thing is for sure, I'm not letting this injury mess with my head just because I won't be able to skate for a while. It could be worse. There are people in much worse situations out there. In every sport, the risk of injury is always there. Even though I'm 45 and my body doesn't respond in the same way when I was 20, but I still got some guys. I'm not done yet. From day one, this channel has always been about motivation. I've always been doing little videos to motivate others to continue to skate, to get back into skateboarding. Now is the time that I really need to do just that. I need to focus on that. Injury sucks, I know, it is real and can happen to any of us. The point here is how you handle it that can make a huge difference between a good comeback or not. My goal here is literally just to get back on my board, be able to learn my basic bag of tricks, even learn some new ones, and feel that wind back on my face. Once again guys, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe. That's all for me. I'll see you in the next video.